Hi, I'm Karen Worley and I am the General Manager of Eves Real Estate in the Bay of Plenty. I thought it is a great time to tell you what's happening in the real estate market on a regular basis. So each month I will be coming to you with observations and facts from those people working in the market and from people outside of real estate but whose businesses affect the real estate market, such as financial institutions, government mandates and so on. The real estate market is shifting, and this change of pace is being felt in all corners of the country. Up until late last year, we were experiencing a seller's market, with house prices increasing at alarming rates. Now we're seeing a correction in the market. We are seeing more homes coming on as sellers are less concerned about selling and having nowhere to go, and less buyers as restrictions on borrowing funds toughen and other factors impact on them. In December, changes to the Credit Contracts and Consumers Finance Act meant lenders needed to follow a more robust process to ensure borrowers could adequately service their mortgages long term. The intention of these changes was to ensure vulnerable borrowers did not overcommit themselves, particularly with the cost of living on the increase and interest rates trending up. Those applying for mortgages, be they first home buyers or people refinancing or trading up or down in property, found their credit application declined because of exhaustive vetting of their spending habits, future plans and savings. Add to that the rate of inflation increasing significantly over the past 6 months and interest rates doubling, with talk of them going higher, along with overinflated property prices, and we have a cauldron of buyers who are wondering when the right time to buy would be. Now let's look at supply and demand. Over the past 2 years, buyers have had little or no choice when it came to buying their dream home. A number of things contributed to this. Firstly, COVID hit, and imports ground to a halt in terms of building products landing on our shores, causing a major supply issue for those people wanting to build a home. That put considerable pressure on the established market, particularly when we saw Kiwis coming back to New Zealand after years of living overseas. Interest rates were lower than they had been in decades. People were not travelling overseas, so had discretionary funds freed up to consider buying more or better property. And inflation was low. The market went crazy. Stock dried up and buyers fought each other in the auction rooms to win the auction and own their own home. Many bought without selling first because the market was in such a frenzy and they knew as soon as they listed their home, they would have buyers. The government knew it needed to try and slow the market down, so they introduced a bill last March that meant an investor who traditionally earned rent off their residential property, which they had borrowed money to buy, and the interest they paid on that mortgage could be offset from the rent received, could no longer offset that interest. This means investors need to declare 100% income off their rental property and pay tax on that, while still paying interest on the loan. Many mum and dad investors saw the need to sell their retirement fund. Now we've got investors selling up. We have people seeing the market at an all-time high, deciding now is a wonderful time to come to the market, and we have the traditional seasonal rush of property on the market. So supply has swung one way and demand for property the other. It is now a buyer's market. The problem is that this change has happened quicker than I've ever seen it before. We have these properties on the market where a seller still believes their property should reach those eye-watering figures from late last year and as reported by the media. And then we have buyers who are saying, no, we're not rushing, we have time on our side now and we're going to be selective and stick to all of our wants when buying a property. And then they find the property and often want to bring the vendor's expectation down by submitting a low offer. Right now, if you're thinking of selling, then get familiar with the market. Find out what you are competing against, because once you see the competition and what is sold around you, you are much more informed as to the value of your property. Choose the best salesperson you can to market your home expansively, making sure that every set of eyeballs sees your property for sale, and be prepared to move off the price you expect to receive in order to achieve your long-term goal. And if you are buying, do your homework well. The stronger you are financially, the better chance you have in negotiation of securing your dream home. Cash sales are rare, so do your due diligence well and get yourself in a position to offer cash. And if you're trading property, sell before you buy. Again, the stronger you are conditionally, the more likely you are to get a great buy in the marketplace. Let's chat again next month. Karen Worley, Eves Realty.